All right, today we're building a fortress. Not with bricks and stone, but with strategy and code. We're going to break down a tactical playbook for corporate cybersecurity, giving you a real blueprint to defend against, well, pretty much everything the modern digital world can throw at you. Let's jump right in.
First things first, we've got to understand the battlefield itself. You see the threat out there? It's probably not what you think it is, and getting that right is absolutely the first step to building a real defense.
So check this out. This is a total mind shift for a lot of people. It's not some hacker in a dark room thinking, I'm gonna get you. Nope. It's way less personal and way more automated. Think of it like this. There are tools out there just constantly scanning the whole internet, 24/7, just like a satellite mapping the Earth. They're just pinging every single address, looking for any open door. Doesn't matter who you are.
And the scale here is, well, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, tools like MassScan, they can scan the entire internet in just a few minutes. That's insane. They're checking for all the usual suspects on the common ports, the first 1,000 or so, but sometimes they go for the whole shebang, all 65,535 of them. So the big takeaway here, it's not if you're getting scanned. You are, right now. The real risk is just being connected to the internet at all.
Okay, so if these scans are happening to everyone, all the time, how do attackers actually break in? Well, it's not some big mystery. It's actually a super simple, predictable formula, and we've got a name for it, the Venn diagram of doom. Yeah, let's get right to it. How does this stuff really happen? Forget the crazy hacking scenes you see in movies. Most real-world breaches, they're way simpler. It's basically a perfect storm of three things. And the crazy part is, they're all totally preventable.
And boom, here it is. This visual just nails it. You need three things to happen all at once for a breach to be successful. See where those circles overlap? That little spot right in the middle? That's the danger zone. That's when you're in real trouble. That's when you get compromised.
So let's break down this recipe for disaster. Number one, you've got something like a remote desktop just sitting there, open to the public internet. Number two, that service has a weak link, maybe a password like password123 or just the factory default. And number three, it's running old software with a vulnerability that everyone knows about, but it just hasn't been patched yet. Look, any one of these on its own is bad, but all three together, that's not a maybe, that's a win. It's pretty much a guaranteed breach.
All right, so we've got the how. Now, let's talk about the where. Which services are the biggest targets for this formula? Let's map out the attack hotspots.
This grid basically shows you the most wanted list. You can see we've grouped them into a few buckets: remote access, web stuff, databases, the usual suspects. And you see those ones in red and orange? Yeah, those are the ones getting hammered by those automated scanners, day in and day out.
Okay, let's drill down into the first big red flag, remote access. We're talking RDP for Windows machines, SSH for Linux. These things are literally digital front doors to your servers. Leaving them open to the internet, it's like putting a sign on your actual front door that says, "Hey, password guessing bots, come on in." The solution is simple, really. Just don't do it. Never expose them directly.
And the second major red alert? Databases. Things like Redis, Elasticsearch, MongoDB. These are a goldmine for attackers. Why? Because they're so often misconfigured. I mean, it's incredible how often they're just left wide open, with no password at all. An attacker doesn't even have to hack anything. They just walk in, copy all your data, and then send you the ransom note.
Okay, we've seen the battlefield, we know the enemy's playbook, now it's time to build our defenses. And I'm not just talking about a simple firewall. We need to build a modern fortress. This right here is a strategy called defense in depth. The idea is simple. You don't just rely on one big wall. You have layers, like an onion. Each layer has a different job. So the first layer might be something that stops those massive DDoS floods. If something gets past that, it hits the main firewall, blocking access to any port that shouldn't be open. And for the traffic that is allowed, it has to go through one more gate, a web application firewall, that's actually looking inside the traffic for anything malicious. It's all about multiple checkpoints.
So this really gets to the heart of it. Look at the left. That's the wrong way. The internet can just talk directly to your server. That's bad. Now look at the right. That's the smart way. You put everything important inside a kind of digital strongbox. Your management tools are completely hidden from the internet. The only way in is through a single secure door that requires multi-factor authentication. It's a game changer. I mean, if the automated scanners can't even see the door, they can't knock on it.
And this idea is part of a huge shift in security philosophy. We're moving away from what we call the castle and moat model. Hard on the outside, but soft and chewy on the inside. Once you're over the moat, you can pretty much go anywhere. The new model is called Zero Trust. The name says it all. You trust nothing and no one by default. Every single connection, even inside your own network, has to prove who it is. The motto is, never trust, always verify. So even if a bad guy does get in, they're trapped. They can't move around.
All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. What can you do, like right now, to lock things down? Here's your 4-step tactical playbook.
Get these 4 things right, and you'll be in a much, much better place. Let's walk through them one by one.
Step 1. This is so simple but so important. It's called the principle of least privilege. Basically, go through everything. If a service doesn't have a darn good reason to be open to the entire world, shut it down. Close the port. Just by doing that, you're popping one of the bubbles in that Venn diagram of doom. You're eliminating the internet exposure part of the formula.
Step 2 is all about that strong box we talked about. All those really sensitive management tools, your SSH, your RDP, your database controls, get them off the public internet. Tuck them away behind a VPN. And make sure that VPN requires multi-factor authentication. You're making them invisible. Once again, you've just taken internet exposure completely out of the equation for your most critical systems.
Step 3. This one's fun. You get to be the bad guy. Grab the same tools the attackers are using. Nmap is a great one. And scan yourself from the outside. You want to see what they see. The whole point is to find those dangerous intersections in the Venn diagram yourself before an attacker does. You've got to know what your own attack surface looks like. And finally, step 4. This one tackles the last circle in our diagram. You need to automate your vulnerability scanning. You can't do this manually. When a big nasty exploit is discovered, you need to know about it instantly so you can patch it. By staying on top of your patches, you remove that known vulnerability element. And just like that, the whole attack formula breaks down.
And that really brings us to the main point of this whole thing. It's never about just one thing. An open port by itself isn't the real danger. The real danger is that toxic mix, an open service, plus a weak password or configuration, plus direct internet exposure. That's the trifecta. The good news, you only have to break one link in that chain. Take away just one of those 3 things, and the attack just fizzles out.
So there you have it. That's the playbook. You know what the battlefield looks like now, you know exactly how the attackers get in, and you know how to stop them. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it? How will you use this to reclaim control?